Before we get started, though, man, am I seeing it? You're gonna have. Is that a? I'm hoping that's a Gainwell jersey. You got like the patch on the back just says Gainwell. Yeah?
Now I'm
You have to get to the Stoke.
so now I'm just trying to get every last use of this before.
Gotta
Gotta get it out of here. So
Let me just start here on the offensive line. So Broderick Jones won the tackle. Suamalo at left guard. Zach Frazier, which I think is a top 3 center in the league. He's at center. Mason McCormick and Fuatanu. Then you have Calvin Anderson, Spencer Anderson, Ryan McCullum, and Andrus Pete as the backups. What do you guys think about this offensive line, the starting 5, and what are you looking for in 2025?
so what I think right now is, if I had to grade him, I would just have to give an incomplete. Under Pat Meyer, it seems like that it takes about half the season for the running game to kind of get together and start flowing. Hopefully that things change this year and it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
Um, but on paper, or I guess you can say on Madden,
On electronic paper.
no, but I think from a pass perspective, they seem to be solid in the preseason. Those who did play
Yeah.
didn't really see any glaring issues there. It's just the run blocking is questionable at best.
So in the past, GB and I have spoken about, and one, I know you know this too, like just swinging from one side to the other, just from a footwork perspective and, where you're punching and where you're setting and everything like that. We were hoping that they did not mess Broderick Jones up for life. And obviously, the first part of camp in the first preseason game, it was like a little iffy. Man, these last couple preseason games, as you know, the best thing about an offensive lineman is you don't hear his name. And I think he's played pretty well. GB, how have you assessed the way Broderick Jones has gone back to his natural position at left tackle, and how do you think he's holding up?
Well, I would say I would kind of agree with Juan in saying it's really incomplete because it is preseason, but definitely see some good things, some positive things.
Yeah.
I mean, automatically his footwork already looks better, right? He already looks more confident on the left side than he does on the right side, which is great. But the one thing that if one thing that stood out to me the most though in this preseason with the offensive line in the run game is the ability for our running backs to be able to see the cutback lane. That's I think we're going to see that a lot. Caleb Johnson is a phenomenal one cut and go, or he's going to be a phenomenal one cut and go running back. You're starting to see with every preseason game, you're starting to see some continuity coming with them. And that's the part that I'm really, really, really intrigued to see. First of all, how long will it take for Caleb Johnson to take over the starting position? Number one, and I'm really interested to see how this mix of the run game in the pass will how that's going to play out. Got some goals here. 38 minutes time of possession, right? Yeah. We get that's what we're looking at. We get that 13 personnel, we'll be all right. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm looking at one thing that I want to see get better. I don't remember I think we might have to go back to the Barry Foster days when we had a good screen game here. Yeah. We got some athletic linemen here that should theoretically be able to, get out there, pull, then you throw that 13 personnel like you're talking about, or even just 12 with Darnell Washington as we call him a TET, right? Tight end tackle. So, he should be able to get out and block too, whether it's Johnson, or you can even throw a Jonnu Smith screen, a wide receiver screen to DK, things like that. Things that gets the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands quick. And I like to see what these linemen do in space, all things considering. They look to be very athletic and probably one of the more athletic offensive lines in the NFL. Obviously, we don't know all the offensive linemen in the NFL. I don't got that kind of time to watch that many preseason games, though I do watch a lot. What I'm liking to see is 4/5 of this line should be here for a while, right? The only thing we might replace next year is a left guard. But again, if Suamala goes down, and hopefully he doesn't, and Spencer Anderson jumps in, and he plays well, which I thought he played pretty well in the preseason. Maybe he's your right guard. I don't think so. I think they can probably address that in the draft next year. But I'm just curious to see what the athleticism looks like. Does it build upon the screen game? GB, you're talking about it, man. Hitting the no-head with that one cut running ability, and of course, one is 100% correct, and it's an incomplete grade, as it should be. But I like to see what this. We'll come back and revisit this after the Minnesota game in Week 5 of the bye week, and probably make a fair assessment of how this offensive line will play out through the year.